Instagram story highlights. In this video, I'm gonna be teaching you guys exactly step by step how I create my story highlights and how you guys can do exactly the same, all for free. So without further ado, let's get right into it. What's up you guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my bedroom. I actually shooting the first video I've ever shot in here. Thought might as well give it a go because the studio was kind of being used last night. And before we get into how I make my story highlight icons, I want to kind of talk about why I think you guys should use highlights. And for those of you out there that don't know what a highlight is, I'll show an example right here. Pretty much what a highlight is when you post your story, obviously, you know, Instagram is going to make it disappear after about 24 hours, similar to Snapchat stories, which also disappear within 24 hours. Now, Instagram highlights were released in December of 2017, which pretty much means that you could save a story that you had for 24 hours and put it under a highlight, basically extending the story out beyond 24 hours. So using my account as an example, pretty much I have highlights broken into different categories. My most recent highlight that I created was not too long ago. I created something called Fits, where I take pictures of myself in a mirror or out in whatever public, basically showing my followers on Instagram what I'm wearing for that specific day. So if you guys are like me or similar to me where you like to dress, you know, different styles and a lot of different outfits, I would suggest creating something like OOTD, which would be outfit of the day, or, you know, like a fashion highlight. Pretty much basically showing people what you wear on a day-to-day basis. Other categories on my channel are food, obviously. If you guys are an Instagram follower of mine, you know that I post probably more food than anything on my stories and highlights. At this point, I'm not sure how I don't have a coffee highlight because I definitely drink a lot of coffee too, which is probably something that I should slow up on. But yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, don't be surprised if you see a coffee highlight in the near future. I probably should do that pretty soon because I've already taken so many pictures of coffee that it's a little bit excessive. So if you guys didn't know what highlights were 4 minutes ago, now you do. And the reason that I think you guys should use them is, number one, think about this. When people, you know, you get new followers every single day or every week or month, whatever it may be, people come to your page and instead of, you know, scrolling through your posts and seeing your captions, basically your highlight reel is all the stuff that's on your feed. All the stuff in your stories, or at least in my case, is usually like the behind the scenes, right? What I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, where I'm going, what I'm eating, what I'm wearing, stuff like that. Stories, in my opinion, are actually like storytelling because, you know, you post a picture or a video on your feed and it's like, oh, cool, like it, maybe leave a comment. But when you post stories, people can see the stuff behind the scenes, all the things that don't really go on your feed. So when you guys get new followers, let's say you've been posting story highlights for a little bit over a year, those people can actually go to each one of those highlights if they want to do some, you know, stalking. And in my opinion, it really helps those people, you know, get a better understanding of who you are. So every time you guys post a story, if it relates something similar to one of your highlights, you can always add it to that highlight. Also, what I used to do, and completely non-related to the video, I used to want to journal. And so I started writing in a journal, but in my opinion, it took up a lot of time out of the day. So what I did instead of journaling and writing stuff out, which I probably should do, was I usually got a calendar from my grandma or my mom for Christmas or my birthday or something like that. And it usually has those little open boxes, maybe like 2 by 2 inches. So it gives you like a nice little area. And what I would do is at the end of the day, I would go over there and I would write something or 2 things or 3 things just in like bullet point form. And I would pick something that was super unique out of the day that I would remember down the road, you know, maybe 5 or 10 years later. And then I would write it on the calendar. So in my opinion, that was kind of like short, condensed journaling. And, you know, I could always look back on the calendar or, you know, the stacks of calendars. I don't really know where they are right now, but I think story highlights on Instagram can be extremely similar to that. That way you guys can look at stuff in the past, whether you want to reminisce or be reminded of something or a good song. That's why I have a music category on my highlights, because I like new music, and if I hear a new song and I'm like, oh man, that's a good song, like I don't ever want to forget that song. I'll screenshot it and then I'll post it to my feed with the music playing, and then I'll add it to my music highlight. That way down the road I can look back and be like, oh, look at all those dope songs, and you know, I might forget something, but I can always look back on my story highlights and be reminded of that good music. Also, a quick hack for you guys, if you don't have any highlights on your Instagram yet, but you're like, hey, this video is motivating me to like post highlights, what you can do is you can create a bunch of highlights, whether let's say you go to the beach all the time and you have a bunch of story highlights of the beach, you can always go back in your story archives and add those beach days or beach pictures or whatever it may be to that specific highlight. So you can literally go back and see all the archived stories and add those to a highlight. That way you don't have to start now and then, you know, build your way up into the future. So that's something that I learned not too long ago. If you guys want to do that, I definitely recommend it. And the last thing I want to touch on, you guys, before we actually dive into the computer and start creating these story highlight icons, is why I think that you actually should have a themed highlight reel. Basically, it's pretty much the whole reason that I wanted to make this video, is to show you guys how I make my story highlight icons. That way you guys can get a, you know, an idea for yourself. And the main thing is, I really just think it looks aesthetically pleasing. You know, whether you take Instagram serious or not, it's good if you actually use highlights to make sure they're all themed, right? So if you guys once again look at mine, they're all themed. I can always change the colors, I can always change the icons, I can, you know, change everything, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that right here. But I just think it looks better, you know, on your Instagram page. So that's just my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong, but here we go. Let's dive in and start actually making these. Okay, so the website we're going to be using to make these story highlight icons is Canva. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but Canva, you can, you know, use it as an app on your phone, you can use it on an iPad, and you can use it on the computer. So it's really cool. There's a lot more that you can do with Canva that I'm going to show you in this video. So I would definitely recommend, you know, taking a look at least the free trial. I'm not really sure how much it costs per month. I think it's like 13 bucks. But pretty much what you can do is you can create an account for free. You just go on, you know, you do the email stuff, and then they don't charge you. They let you know when they're going to charge your card. So they're not going to charge you. You can literally do this for free. I think it's like 2 weeks or something like that. Regardless whether you use Canva in the future and pay for it or not, this video, you can use it for free. All right, so after you guys have created your free account on Canva, or if you already have an account, we are going to go over here to create a design. Now we're going to click on custom dimensions, and then we're going to go ahead and put the width in as 1080 and the height by 1920. Okay, so you guys should be seeing something similar to this. Then what we're gonna do is take our arrow and we're gonna go over here to elements and click on elements. And then down here, we're gonna go ahead and click on shapes. And then since we need to fill in this space, I'm gonna grab this square box. As you can see, it says free, and then I'm gonna drag it to where it's the exact dimensions of basically the whole canvas, pretty much the whole canvas. So we're gonna drag that box, stretch it out to where it outlines the whole canvas, and then after we do that, we're gonna go ahead and bring in our circle. Now we're gonna put that somewhere in the middle. You guys can see how the purple, once you line it up exactly in the middle, you get, boom, right there. That's exactly what you want. So now we're directly in the center. You can always make that circle bigger. I would stretch the circle out a little bit, probably right to there. And then this is where you can have some fun with it, right? All right, so we're gonna hover over the gray here and click on that. Now we're gonna go over here to this little box. You guys can see it right here. That's basically the color of the background. Now this is where we can really have some fun, because we could do a gradient, we can do different colors. Let's say you have like a makeup page and you want to do like this one right here, or this one right here. Or if you really want to have some fun, let's do a gradient. You guys can click on this box right here at the top left, and let's just click on, ooh, I really like this color right here. This is a super pretty color. If we were to like to do that right there, and now that's like our background, right? So then the next thing to do is basically put something inside to where it's exactly inside the circle, because remember, keep in mind, the story highlight, you want them all to be the same. You don't want them to, you know, be a little bit off when you look on your Instagram. Okay, so now that we like our color, what I'm gonna do next is go over here to search elements. For this example, let's just put like surfer. Let's say you go to the beach all the time, and look at this. We got a whole bunch of icons. Let's say we wanna do, how about palm trees? Boom, bunch of palm trees pop up. So there's just so many different things you guys can do with this. And obviously, you know, we have different colors over here. So let's pick one of these. You wanna pick something that's simple and easy to change the colors to, because once we drag it over here, I like to have it as the same color as the background. That way, when you look at it on Instagram, both the inside and the outlining of the circle are both the exact same color. Okay, so we're just gonna pick, let's see, this palm tree right here. Let's make it a little bit bigger, drag it into the center. And now what I'm going to do is click over here. See the top left corner? I'm gonna click on the color. And as you guys can see on the left side, it says document colors. So it has the color saved of our background. So I'm gonna click on that and see how that looks. Okay, so that looks good, but I mean, you know, you can mess around and make ones that really stand out. But for this, I like how it looks. It's simple, it's clean. Also, if you guys don't want images, let's say you wanna use like words so people can see, you know, let's say coffee or gym or work or travel, we can go over here and click on text. And when you scroll down, there's just a whole bunch of, different fonts and styles that you guys can use. And it's just a whole mess of fun, playing around with these fonts. So those are just a couple of things you guys can do. And then what I do next is, after I find the image that I want, obviously make sure whether it's an image or text to be exactly in the center, not too small, not too large, whatever looks good to you. I eyeball it. So I think that looks good. So what I'm going to do next is go over here and download. And then once I click download, it says PNG, and then I'm going to click download. So then it says preparing your design. Boom, you saved your design, and then click exit. And now you have the image down here at the bottom. And what you can do next is drag that, boom, onto your page, and now it's on my desktop. And then what I do is airdrop that to my phone. And then as soon as you guys have that image on your phone, obviously make sure your airdrop's on. That way you can airdrop it to your phone, or just sync it through the cord. My computer doesn't have USB cord, so I have to airdrop everything from my phone to my computer and vice versa. And then what you do is go on Instagram. You're going to click on any of the highlights, let's say the highlight that you want to change, or let's say that image that you just added to your phone. And then once you click on the highlight, go to the bottom right, click on those three dots. And I'm pretty sure this is how you do it. I'll have a screen recording right here showing you guys exactly how I do it, since I'm recording with my phone right now. But you should be able to change it very easily without having to add it to your story. And you can literally just change the cover picture of your highlight. And then from there, it's literally just up to you to have some fun being artistic. You can spend hours on Canva, I know I do, but you can really have some fun with it, play with different colors. And then obviously, with your profile picture, you can do something similar. You can go back into Canva, add a profile picture, make sure your picture is like dead in the center, and then you could put that as your Instagram profile picture. So there's a whole bunch of stuff you guys can do with Canva. I don't want to make this video any longer than it has to be, but that is how I create my Instagram story highlight icons. Hopefully that was easy. If you guys had any trouble following along, please drop down in the comment box or DM me on Instagram. And by the way, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, definitely follow me. If you guys aren't already, please subscribe to my channel if you guys enjoyed this video, because I put out content like this on a weekly basis. So with that being said, if you guys haven't watched last week's video on Instagram Reels, being AKA the new TikTok, I'll link that up there for you guys. Definitely go check it out. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you guys over there.